Read the disclaimer.
What's good, guys? Welcome to COG Podcast. I'm Charles.
Jason.
Jason. All right. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff I wanted to get here on the podcast, starting a new series and stuff like that. So I just have a few topics and everything. And guys, just comment down below what you guys want to see. If you guys enjoy this type of content, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and a lot of people would ramble, man. They'd be like, you ramble too much. So I was like, well, you know what? Let's start a podcast. And so if people enjoy my rambling, I can sit here for an hour and a half or hour and talk.
We can make money off the rambles.
Yeah, we can make YuGiOh. So Alliance Insight just dropped. Me, Jason, and our buddy Caleb ended up getting a case of that. And for lack of better terms, I know you were happy. I was happy, but
Yeah, we got I get value wise, I don't think we really did great, but got everything we wanted, right? So I mean, can't
for the
complain too much.
Caleb was after White Forest, and we only got, what was it, like 2 of the field spells?
Yeah, 2 of the field spells, and then 2 of the secret rare Diablo Star Chicky
which
thing.
I think is a one of, right?
Yeah, I think it's a one of, yeah.
Yeah, so go figure. Then we pulled 5 Gordion Slicers, which was...
Yeah, well, 4 secrets and then 1 QCR of it, so...
Yeah, and that's just wild to think. And then a few Regenesis. Actually, I think there was, quite a few. 3, 4. No, actually 5 Regenesis. We pulled 3 of the Searcher spell, a Lord, a QCR Lord, a normal Lord, 2 of the Archfiend, and then the Sages and everything.
Yeah, so a pretty good Archfiend core, and then 2 Star Raziels.
Yeah, that's cool, yeah.
Star Raziel's good for the deck, so can't complain about that.
No, yeah, the 2 Star Raziel, yeah. So, I mean, if you were going, I guess our case was not a White Forest theme case, but actually outside of the field spell, I feel like that's the only thing we were missing from pulling the full Dragon Rulers too. We got the whole Dragon Ruler support, so I feel like that was definitely something. Just the White Forest. That's it. We're short 1 card from completing almost all the cores in the deck, and 1, I guess, the Malice card, right? We missed 1 hair.
Yeah, we got 2 hairs. So
yep.
yeah, so technically, yeah, we need
And 1 backup, or was it 2 backups?
2 backups.
2 backups. Okay, so I mean, not too terrible. But with that being said, with the Alliance Insight pretty much being out in the open, and it's going to be legal this Friday, I think, right? That's it. So we got our case Wednesday. Friday, it's legal. It's going to be just legal in time for YCS Providence. And we actually forgot even the Mitzarooi stuff.
That's Mitzarooi.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it was really high rarity. I think the new main deck monster, well, I guess with the ritual, obviously main deck, but the new ritual, and then the new normal monster, your normal summon, the supers, and the rest of them I think were commons. Oh, and there's another quick play, but I don't think it's really played. So
yeah, I think I was watching some replays of that deck, and it's kind of wild where you can chain block out the big guy that Regekis everything. You drop him, and then you go chain link 1 him, chain link 2 that ritual spell to shuffle itself back. So
yeah, mirror.
Yeah.
So mirror's actually a common, but yeah, it's just like a one of, because depending on how you build your deck, you can pre-prep it with the new ritual guy, and then you search mirror, and then you can chain block your good lord, I can't pronounce his name, but
I can't pronounce
the
the name
Regeki, and then basically the hand loop, which I'm excited. I play the deck, and I feel like I should know the name of the card, but
it's just kind of wild too, the new support. So it's arguably the best ritual archetype we've seen in a long time. When you think about it, compared to even Voiceless that came out, it's just leagues behind or leagues ahead of Voiceless. So yeah, I think that, I mean, if you were going to give a bingo card of what Mitzarooi could get, would an E-Telly ritual monster that stays in the hand be something on that bingo card?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I was actually, I just had a complete brain fart, but I was thinking about the deck. I was taking a shower, because if you're not thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh in a shower, are you even a player? But yeah, I was actually thinking it's a lot like a ritual style prank kids. You still get your Regeki, and now you get an Omni Negate with a hand rip, and prank kids was just okay. Was it Battling Boxer?
Yeah,
or whatever?
Battling Butler. Yeah, Battling Butler.
The Butler, which is just the Regekis, which now you have easily access to the Regeki. You have an Omni Negate, and then I mean, I would say it's more of a ritual style prank kids, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So since you're our Mitzarooi player, do you plan to play mostly, because I know I saw a profile where it showed the pure list went 7-0. He was playing Extravagance. He was playing what's the other card? Oh, Impulse. I think it was the reasons the guy in the profile was like, the reasons to play this deck is because it can play Extravagance, it can play Impulse, and Impulse is an insane card this format after Allen. So what are you thinking? Are you still thinking on playing Ryzeal, or are you thinking on like mixed matching, or are you setting like a build to play?
So I'm actually thinking about playing the Fiendsmith, not Ryzeal. The Fiendsmith Mitzarooi set looks pretty fun because, I mean, Fiendsmith, it's one of the dumbest, best engines out there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Like, you kind of have to play it to be like competitive level, I guess. But actually, I didn't really think about Impulse, so maybe the Pure does sound pretty good because Impulse is really good. But yeah, I was really looking forward to the Fiendsmith Mitzarooi, so I think that's the direction. I like Ryzeal. Like I really like Ryzeal. I like the play style. I liked how the cards look, but I just kind of, I feel like everyone's expecting the Ryzeal.
Yeah,
So I think that's
especially
like automatically kind of like a weakness right there.
Yeah, so everyone's going to already know what those cards. They might not know what the pure stuff, the lines of the pure stuff can do. Absolutely, yeah. I was kind of thinking that Star Ryzeal is kind of wild. Like, I think we were joking about it, but now like the implications of you just being able to immediately get access to your field spell without like no droll, like you can just pass go, collect your 2 cards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no need to worry about duo drive.
Yeah, duo drive is like, now you have like a really like rough decision. Is it, do I focus on the duo drive, or like if there's a way to stop the Ryzeal or Star Ryzeal, do I stop that? So like it definitely adds like way more lines of play, and like you're definitely always going to end on your field spell no matter how you look at it. So
there was, oh man, again, we're just rambling here. So rambling on, but I just can't remember. There was something that popped in the back of my mind. Oh goodness. Oh man, and it was something that me and Fiendsmith. So like Fiendsmith dodged the ban list, and we were we were kind of joking, but it could be true. Like, Cashier Finra dodged the ban list this entire time, and it was like limited hit in the OCG, and Konami TCG here never touched it. And now like the cash, aside from Arise Art's like full power here. So we were jokingly, but it could be real. Like they could just overlook Fiendsmith completely. Like people are saying, oh, Fiendsmith needs to be hit. Fiendsmith is going to get hit, but I can see a world where Fiendsmith just coasts on by, just staying out of the way, just enough.
Yeah, like, I mean, unfortunately, that's like a really bad way to look at it, because I do want Fiendsmith hit, because it is just like a Kashtira Fenrir when it first came out. Every deck profile you saw was like, oh, and then there's the Kashtira stuff, and now every deck profile is like, oh, here's the Fiendsmith stuff. So, but like, yeah, man, like a horrible possibility that it does get like, I mean, Lacrima was a good ban, like, but, but
the burn for time was awful.
Yeah, ridiculous. But like now we have the new Duke of Demise. We got Necroquip. So it's like, yeah, you took Lacrima, it changed some plays, but really you're still ending on High King or Desiree.
And then like, so I understand. Yeah, so like, someone we were even talking, saying like, well, maybe you hit the DDD High Wave King Caesar in that engine and call it good. But I don't know, man, because like that's like an imports or DDD's. Not saying like Konami cares what these other decks or N pieces ever done, but DDD's like an anime favorite, and that's why that deck's like got so much support. And then throughout the time, whether it be good or bad is subjective to if you play DDD's or not. But is it like, will they try to hit the deck directly? Will they actually go after High King? Because for those DDD players out there, that's like that's part of their in-board, because they too can make it the legal way. They make it the way it's supposed to be made. And I just don't know if they'd ever end up doing that. And then the way that power creep works, like maybe Fiendsmith is like slow, like is the power creep so enormous that Fiendsmith, which is this insanely splashable engine, just going to get power crept out by, because I know K9s are coming out and Justice Hunters, I believe, and that's like another like rank 5 or level 5 engine that can be used with multiple decks and stuff like that. I think Vanquish Soul's like topping in the OCG because of that engine. It's like a top tier deck now. Like the meta's completely shifted with like the Justice Hunter set, where not even Vanquish Soul, but it was, when it first dropped, it was the Yummy archetype was expected to be the best. Dragon Tail was a close second, and then K9s were terrible. Now it's like shifted to where it's like K9s mixed with Vanquish Soul, which I guess, it's maybe just say it's Vanquish Soul, but essentially K9's like is a very solid engine, and then Draco Tail over here, Dragon Tail, is the better than Yummy in representation. And I don't even, to be honest with you, I've never read a Yummy card. I've not read a single Yummy card.
I think I read them when they first like were broadcast, but they're just like a spammy thing. But I like Dark Ruler No More was like, it just outs the whole field. They don't really have like a good out for it, right? So like basically you just do basic board wipe and easily can kill them. But yeah, K9 it's very splashable. Like it's been doing pretty good, like with Finger Soul. Dragon Tail, I think there's good lord, there's what branded, there's Dragon Maids.
Dragon Maids, yep.
So I mean, it's like Konami and their dragons.
Yeah.
You know, so it's no matter what, there's going to be a.
They love their, and it's like not every archetype is like made equal, man. Like recently we've been spoiled with fiends, but before that, you know, man, it was warriors, it was dragons. They felt like Konami definitely have its favorite archetypes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that Dragon Tail stuff's pretty wild. I was reading a few of the cards today, and just being able to, you know, quick effect fuse is kind of wild. We were doing some theory with Dragon Rulers and trying to see if there was a way, because Dragon Rulers coming out from Alliance is kind of crazy, dude. Like that level 7 can like dump the Tempest, and Tempest then can search any dragon monster. And there's a lot of good dragon monsters.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we were wondering. We're like, can it like dump and search? Is any of the new Dragon Tails searchable off of this? And then like you get access to fusion in like this Synchro / XYZ based deck. And sadly, no, they're not. The good fusion. So I guess you could search out. There's like a small Dragon Tail, and it blocks you. You can use it to fuse, but it has to fuse and make Dragon Tail monsters. The generic one that lets you fuse any dragon is like a spellcaster, so it's not as searchable. But yeah, so anyway, YCS Providence. So that's this week, and that's why you came over today, and we're trying to bump this episode out to get it out in time for Providence. And with Alliance Insight just releasing that Friday, man, what deck do you think? What do you think is going to take the whole thing? I'm curious. Or do you think you can chalk it into one deck, or do you think like it's like a Wild West, like gun shootout?
Yeah, no, I kind of think man, it might be kind of close to a Wild West. Like, I mean, competitive word I can't say is Malice has like ungodly amount of new potential, just because like with the new backup stuff, with the new cyber stuff, just alone, it's like really good. But there's like a lot of like really great potentials out there. I mean, Ryziel's still super powerful, and then you have like the new Mitzarooi with the Ryziel, so like it's really hard to pinpoint stuff, man. And like this last YCS, like you saw a lot of like
Memento won this last one, right?
Memento, you know, like Memento is still like a really great budget option. So I mean, with that deck picking up speed, you can always like, you don't want to count that deck out either, because that deck's pretty crazy. Especially
against the uninformed about it. I feel like that's the deck's strongest part, is not let people know what it does. And you just sit there and you're just flinging your hand traps inappropriately. And that deck can dodge a lot of hand traps too, I noticed, because I got to play it at locals this last Friday. And even though I cooked Ulrico with it, I did notice that like it has that quick play goblin thing, the bone party. And it just has the ability to dodge, dip, dob. What's it? The 5Ds of dodgeball.
Yeah. Dip, dodge, duck, and dive.
And dodge. Yeah, and dodge. Dodgeball, man. And it's just kind of crazy. And the inboard's like that giant creation that's 5,000 and a gate. So you have like an Appaloosa for that deck. Then you have the pops, and it's a lot of. It kind of reminds me. I know we used to talk about Labyrinth. Like Labyrinth used to do like what it does. Like now that we're experienced with it, we know that it doesn't do like something super crazy or super unfair. But it's like when it's interacting with you and doing all this crazy stuff, it kind of overwhelms you, and you're like, well, what's going on? You can lose track of game states, and then all of a sudden, like you start throwing your hand traps, your interruptions, inopportunely. I think that's a word. Throw them at that.
It is now.
It is, yeah. Put it in the dictionary. You throw your interruptions in inopportune times, and then that's the way like those decks like benefit, is like poorly timed hand traps. If you hand trap the wrong thing, it just like pluses you. Or like Labyrinth, you interact with him, that damn butler pops out of the graveyard, and then there's 2 bodies for Fiend Smith and everything.
Well, I don't know, I've been like at regionals and tournaments and everything, and it's like if you see a deck and you don't know what they're doing and they're popping off, like sometimes you just fling out a hand trap and pray, like maybe that'll work,
the team Sam with one hand trap just on God.
Yeah.
And hope it does
pretty much. But like and I think Memento is like one of those decks is like a lot of people don't like, people watch it be played and they're like, oh wow, that deck's crazy, but like I've never personally played it, but like I'm pretty sure it's not an easy deck to like
pilot. Yeah,
pilot. So like it's just one of those decks that like if you're like watching it and you're like, I have no idea what they're doing. Oh, they're searching. Okay, blah, and I think that's where Mementos like really shines. So it can be intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the scariest thing, like when I was like watching someone explain like how you interact with that deck, it's like when they summon the horse, you throw your interruption at the horse. But then now they have the ability to dodge with the horse. With the
I think if you try to imperm the horse or something, and then Gaddock Engrave. I think stop the Gaddock Engrave. Yeah.
And then, not to mention like Bone Party or that Goblin Biker Breakout, you can remove the horse. It resolves, and then, or I think it resolves because the summons a Goblin instead. Because it has to destroy, and then you get to destroy. Send cards equal to the level of what you destroy. I think.
I believe so.
Memento players will come on here and let us know.
But, we'll get cooked. Yeah. We'll be educated.
Educate on the Memento technique, but I think people were saying that we're entering the MMM format. And YCS Providence is going to prove that we're in an MMM format. Memento, Mermail, Malice, Mitzarooi. The 4M format.
Mermail. Forgot about Mermail.
Yeah,
Mermail.
which I don't know. Which I think that deck does. It has some consistency issues with playing so many names and stuff, and Droll existing. So it's like, in order for that deck to do good again into Droll, you have to play like all those names to beat Droll, and then you just open like Double Pike, Prince, and like gotta pray.
Yeah.
But it very well could be like the deck or the board that deck still puts up is still super scary, statue lock and everything. But I think if I was gonna bet on Providence, I would say that the deck that takes it will either be Malice or Mitzarooi YCS. Or I'm gonna throw a third ball out there and say like a pure Mitzarooi comes in, because that's a whole new realm of possibility that not a lot of people have tested, and everyone's going, like you said, going to be expecting the YCS variant. But when like they start holding their hand traps, like waiting for like the duo drive or something they're familiar with, and then all of a sudden the end board's just like all 3 rituals along with like the one that negates, right, with the trap and prayers, and they're like, oh well, my Ash is useless now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like a really big surprise factor, and like Mitzarooi, like it's like one of those decks that it's like less is more. And it's pretty good, because even if you end on like just Wafutsu when your ritual's engraved, like you're still like, all right, you're plussing me as you're summoning.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah, that's the one that reborns back from grave every time you special summon, right?
Yep.
Dude, that one's so annoying. It it kind of invalidates certain interactions, because you can afford for there to be an in-perm on your one that negates. It's sweet. It'll get you tributed off, and then if they have anything to stop the reborn effect, because that's what people are ready for, is the Regeki, then you just, as soon as you special, you bring it back and then negates live again. That card just has puts a lot of weird interactions and stuff like that.
Because like I've had people waste like droplets on my Futsu, just sitting there, and they're like, oh man, I don't want them bringing stuff out of the grave, so I'm gonna just waste the droplets right away. And I'm like, okay, cool, I still have a negate, which is going to tribute him off. I'm gonna search and he's gonna come right back.
Yeah, and then they paid for droplets for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
So, like, which is crazy, dude. Yeah. Which is wild. And that card ends up building a board, and like even if your interruptions are all gone, unless they solve this card, you're just gonna have a wall, and they have to do damage to you some way. And that thing's defense is like 3,400, right? Or
oh yeah, it's 34. Yeah. Like there's just a lot of niche plays that people don't like really expect. Once again, like from Amino, the hand rip and the Regeki guy. I don't know how many times at the last regional we went to that you went 7-0. Congrats, but it was, they would always go to nib me. And then I would activate like, all right, hey man, you have to discard a card or it's negated. And like people just would not just discard the nib, they discard the other card, and I'm like, huh, all right.
And then everything gets tributed and comes right back.
Yeah,
that nib feels terrible against Mitzarooi.
Horrible. Like I would almost like, when you're holding a talents and like they nib you and like everything's gonna come right back, you're gonna plus off the nib, and then you just activate talents, and it's just like, all right. Especially if they don't like process that right, and then they still hand rip themselves by not tributing off the nib in the hand. It's like, okay, cool. So like, nib me.
Yeah, that's pretty good, because I know a lot of people were getting, nib was starting to gain traction again, especially with Mermail losing the Omni Negate, because that was like the one deck Nib felt horrible against, and I guess other decks too. But like Nib felt awful against Mermail because they could either rip it, put up their fifth summon was Toad, but now that Toad's out of the picture for that deck, Nib hurts a lot more, so they have to. So I know that I was seeing in a lot of profiles of like other decks and stuff like that Nib was seeing its way back into being main decked. But now, if the format shifts to a more Mitzarooi, because I don't know what Malice does against a Nib. I don't know the lines for Malice to beat Nib. Is it like they just play through it? Is there a particular time?
They definitely play through it. I don't remember the exact lines. I'm definitely not a Malice player, but that if you do have Nib, I think there's like a really, really certain spot, and even if they have like a good hand, they can still play through it like nothing. So like Nib is like, I don't know, Nib is like always been a weird card. Like if it's bad for the format, people are gonna stop playing it. But as soon as people stop playing it, people don't respect it. So then you have to play it, because if they're not respecting it, then it's gonna plus. So.
And then you get those wins because no one's respecting Nib, and you're the the Brave Soul maining Nib again.
Yeah.
So like or the Wise One maining it. So yeah, Nib's always been that way. It's always been, I guess you're right, cycling in and out. As soon as people fear it, they respect it. As soon as they start respecting it, it falls out of favor. People start disrespecting it, and then it just never goes. I think it's gonna be one of those 3 decks. And the top 32, I think, will be kind of wild. I think we'll see like maybe 1 or 2 Mermails, a lot of Ryzeal variants. Because Ryzeal right now, I don't know how good pure Ryzeal is. I feel like the loss of like each one of those names going down really hurt the consistency enough to keep pure off and with 1 detonator too. Let's not forget that was probably the biggest hit. They could have put all the names to one.
The 1 detonator is really bad because with that going to 1, a lot of people playing Unicorn now.
Yeah.
So Unicorn just rips that 1 detonator, and you're kind of in trouble for it. But
if you're going second, right? Ryzeal is going second. Pure Ryzeal going second. And they summon Unicorn, you have a hand trap or something like that. It's like, is it even worth it? Because as soon as that detonator goes, it can't be retrieved. And it's like, what's that win condition after that? Like, I mean, that's why I think I saw some people playing Fiendsmith. So it gives you can put 2 level 4s and then just make the Exciton Knight.
Yep, Exciton Knight.
And
really
then go
good.
Fiendsmith and hope that will carry you there.
Yeah. For the pure, I think it's more like Shark variant.
That's right, yeah.
Because you can do a lot of stuff with the Shark, and Shark actually benefits you. And there's also Tachyon too. So I mean, you're gonna kind of lose the Droll a little bit harder, a lot harder. But I think the pure is still definitely the weakest form, but still like a really good option too.
I kind of like how Ryzeal became more of an engine after those hits, Mitzarooi got all these good cards, and now Ryzeal's just an engine that bridges between the two because of Fair Limbs.
Yep.
I like that a lot more. It makes it more justifiable, I feel like, playing Ryzeal in Mitzarooi that way. But we've actually seen a few pure lists, I think from Kong's Gaming or something like that, of Mitzarooi, and they were playing this card called Lamia. And my buddy Sebastian sent it to the deck list and sent it to us. Or actually, I accidentally sent the deck list to him when he was looking for things, and it was Lamia, like on normal summon, you add a level 8 reptile monster from your deck to your hand. So it searches out the E-Telly one directly from the deck to your hand. If you're trying to play a pure Mitzarooi, trying to play pure Mitzarooi, you just reveal it and it pops something, and you just go full Mitzarooi combo off of 1 card. I feel like because then you have a body to pop, so you can keep the other names on field, or maybe that's what you want to do. You want to pop like the Sanji or the new normal summon dude.
Yeah, I never even heard of that card.
Yeah, Lamia. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
wild.
you left me in the dark.
Yeah, that's YuGiOh for you, man. Like when new support comes out, all like these older cards we've kind of thought just kind of come back. So what do you think? So we know what's the meta decks, right? Like what's going to be probably going to take it all. So what are some like rogue options that you think we can even talk about like Alliance Insight, but just some rogue options that might squeeze in.
Oh man, there's
tons. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much. I don't even know if it's going to be like a meta. Like you can say probably like roguish meta Mathmech. Like Mathmech is a crazy deck. I mean, circular to 1. I mean, it's they got this guy, which now instead you can still end on like a bunch of
the new Agnister guy.
Yeah, the new Agnister guy, you can end on him and have protect code, and that's still 1 card Mathmech combo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
circular does so much.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of like I said, it's wild when they banned circular, he had no reason to be banned.
Yeah, none.
And like now
thanks Joshua Smith.
Yeah, Josh Smith. But now that he's back, it's like more time for him not to be back because Malice being a Cyberse, excuse me, I don't know, Cyberse archetype. It seems like that's more suited. Like now that's like a Cyberse good stuff. So it seems like if they were ever to have hit circular, it would have been now instead of bringing it back now.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of weird. But I guess Mathmech Ryzeal is also a possibility.
Well, I mean, you were playing that for a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's still built. Yeah, I just kind of incognito for a little bit, but like it's phenomenal because like it gives you a second duo drive. So I mean when are you gonna hit the Alan-Bershon? All right, like wasted your stuff on Alan-Bershon, and then there's duo drive right after.
Yeah.
So
and I feel like it gives more layers. It's almost arguably, man, maybe you'd say that could be like the most purest variant of Ryzeal you can get to, because if you lose your detonator, you still have layered disruptions. It's not just detonator with cross pass. It's detonator cross plus the whole Mathmech line, which then is a Trishula and a negate because you get access to diameter.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess if you want to back to the roguey conversation, kind of went back to meta, but Mathmech I think would be like a really good high rogue contender, because Mathmech before Circular was banned has always been, it's always in every regional. It's like it always sneaks in tops. So I think Mathmech has like a really good potential. Labyrinth. Like Labyrinth.
Yeah, at the last
Labyrinth is
regional.
crazy. Yeah.
But you got to wear the butler suit.
You got to wear the butler suit. I think our friend Caleb's going to wear the maid suit.
Yeah. I think he talked about. He said the butler life wasn't for him, so he's going to wear the dresses or something. But you know what? He might win, because people are going to probably be too blown away. Like, what's this full-grown man doing wearing a maid outfit?
Yeah, I think he'll look cute. He should do it.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, I think Labyrinth is like really good. And then I don't remember the player's name that actually dressed like a butler, but he put I would say he put like a little bit of life back in the deck.
Yeah, it kind of showed that it can compete.
Oh yeah, that deck can like really compete, especially if you have like a really good Labyrinth player. Like,
yeah, it's one of those decks to where pilot dependent. It shows it's with a really good pilot.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember watching DB Grinder a little bit, and he was saying he was showcasing a Labyrinth matchup, and he said playing Labyrinth in this format with Malice existing, it feels terrible because of just the different type of interactions. And how essentially they have to kind of neg themselves, right? I pitch 2 monsters, I set 1 trap, and that trap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then always, man, when you do that, they flip the trap, Ash Blossom hits the trap, and then they've just gone neg 3.
Yeah, that's really rough. Like you definitely have to be like a really skilled pilot to play that deck, and so, but I do believe it's coming up. I think it's gonna have maybe a decent showing. Like, I mean, obviously you can't tell the future, but I think it's a pretty good rogue. Another one I just had on my head I completely forgot was Pass. I forgot.
Pass. Oh, God.
Pass. Yeah.
Oh god. No.
Spotlight.
I'm thinking that the pink. What's that guy from Europe? Pico. He played Fire Kings. I can't pronounce his name.
Dinkamboy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dinkamboy.
Dat boy.
Yeah.
Dat boy.
That boy good.
Yeah. So Fire Kings would be a pretty solid. I mean, but see, Europe is such a whole new region. That's something else that I've noticed too, like from Mexico to America to Europe. We all share like the similar ban list, the similar play style, like the similar decks and everything, but like just the difference in like the metal plants run rampant over in Europe for how long?
Is crazy.
And it couldn't get any more than like a regional top over here. And it's crazy because we're such a combo heavy area. Like the United States or the Canada, US is like North America. There we go. North America is such a heavy combo. Like why did plants only do good over in Europe?
Yeah,
it's just wild. And not just one player. It was like multiple players going there. Yeah.
Like, and that deck was scary too. Like, but yeah, it was crazy, like wild. You know, it was just like one of those
one vanilla
YuGiOh phenomenon. You know,
yeah, one vanilla seed ends you on this.
Yeah. I think Odeon.
Odeon
is like,
Odeon's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Odeon's my boy. Like he's pretty cool. Like it's not Tomb Keeper. It's not Tomb Keeper. Odeon. Like I like Odeon, but that deck, like it's another deck that you have to like. Droll hurts the deck. I mean, hands down. Yeah. It's a Droll format. So like
with the loss of Shifter, which made that card burn in hell. Yeah. Droll's now the new boogeyman.
I would take Droll over Shifter. I would take 10 Droll. I would take 10 Drolls over like 3 Shifters.
Says the Orcus player, right?
Yeah. But yeah, like Odeon, you know, you normal summon Odeon if you impermanent, okay, activate field spell, I'm still getting what I want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's I think that deck has like a lot of potential. Fiendsmith is really good with it. It's Fiendsmith. I mean, you just kind of have to. But I think it was the one that the Memento won. YCS, but that had a lot of showing like on the streams, and then there's a couple top 32 like Odeons. That, like,
yeah, it's nice to have a trap deck, even though like quote unquote trap, you know.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of trap decks, Eldritch just got some support. I'm not saying it's going to be like meta defining or anything, but Eldritch has always been like a fan favorite, and so it might be it might have a showing up when it comes to Rogue. You know.
Absolutely. So. Speaking of Rogue, we cannot forget about White Forest.
Oh yeah, White Forest for sure. Yeah.
White Forest. That the support that deck got. The deck's always been kind of crazy, and I felt that the deck had a bottleneck, and it was always the Synchro 6 that let you discard. Mm-hmm. Normally that deck could chain block it out, but if you just held imperm for that, it really was a pretty much like sometimes they would be able to extend and do something, but that was like the pretty big choke point. Like if you had one hand trap, one effect with or one imperm, that's where you threw it. Mm-hmm. And now with their new stuff, they kind of got some crazy stuff. They
they can branch out a lot easier now.
The field spell's a 1-card combo. It locks you out of darks, which is lore. Like I enjoy when Konami does like the lore stuff when it's like, hey, this is this effect because of lore. But that new Dia Bellstar and Dragon Armor, you pay like half your life, summon a Poplar, and then synchro summon into that synchro snake, that giant synchro snake. It solves 3 cards, dude. We were talking about it. It on summon moves a card from field to the back row, and then during the battle phase, you can pop 2 cards. I think it's either a card in the back. You can pop a monster that's treated in the spell and trap and 1 card in the field. It doesn't specify which one you have to pop. So I think, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can pop the monster you put in their spell and trap zone, or another card or something like that. It just pretty much solves like 2 cards. It's a pop 2 at a minimum if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Spot removal too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. So they definitely got like a lot more utility out of the set, which I think it's good. So,
It is. Yeah. That deck has like always been fair in a way. Unless you're pitching any of the white 4 speller traps with like a Zet or a Stellar pitching them, they always renegs, like you're pitching stuff. But the cool thing about that deck was always like when our boy Caleb would pitch like droplets, you're like, sweet, droplets are called by out of the way, and then he makes the Synchro 8 and just adds it back.
Yeah.
That was like, so that's really cool.
It's like a roller coaster of emotions, really.
Yeah. You're like, yippee, oh no, yay.
We're still in therapy about it.
And then I think Snake Eyes, man. Snake Eyes could be a good rogue option. I know like I know like 1 Poplar and 1 Ash might not mean that much, but I was watching a few combos where it's Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith.
Well, they got 2 now, right?
Yeah, 2 of each, yep.
Yeah, 2 of each, yeah.
They still can do some crazy stuff with just 1 Ash. Still is like a full Fiendsmith, like Flameburge, IP into SP, Printheth into the grave. Like, dude, it's wild.
Yeah, I think another tier. Tier. Like,
Tier element?
Tier element.
I mean, yeah, I guess like
Dweller's gone, dude.
And
like,
Shifter gone, yeah.
Yeah, and I think DB Grinder, he had like a big, I think it was like 2-hour-long video of him just play testing. It's like a big 60 card meal. And like without Dweller, dude, like that was like our strongest line of defense against that deck. I'm granted it's been neutered to like ends of the earth, but like with that new Dragon's Mine, Jesse Cotton had a video about it that like you can mill a Dragon's Mine. Kit Kalos has 2,500.
No shot.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So you just you immediately get a counter trap and you go like full tier limit combo. And without Dweller, like and Shifter, like I think
some lucky dude could come there. If I'll tell you what, man, if tier element goes there and it like performs and gets top there, that man should go buy a lottery ticket because he's playing the lottery there.
Yeah, but
it's there.
I bet you're gonna see it. Like it might even make a stream. Like I'm not a gambling man, but I bet you it's gonna be on there.
Tier element. I would like to say Dragon Ruler for nostalgia would maybe like make a rogue showing, and it might because I was doing a little bit of testing with that deck today. That deck, new support, no one knows what to do with it, but Dora and the Tempai cards, you don't have an honorable way to use those cards without playing just cringe helmet, blaster face, and Tempai.
I mean, it's a bad way to play, but it wins. This is a game card game that like
you got to play what wins.
Yeah, you got to play to win. But
so I think maybe Dragon Ruler, as much as maybe we've been talking, a few of my people on the Discord stuff have been talking about Dragon Rulers, and it's like they got some of the craziest support really out of like you think about it, like out of all the support that came out for like Malice, that came out for like Adagnister, Dragon Ruler did not like get what's it called, cut short by any means. They got some pretty powerful cards. It's just the deck just inherently kind of negs, and then the cards, the discard effects of the Dragon Rulers they not age well. They're kind of bad. You have to discard like the appropriate attribute. You have to neg 2 to do one thing essentially.
Right.
Like so, like Blaster. We were talking about Blaster since you're playing the Tempais. It's Fire Dragons. So going second, you can pitch Blaster plus, if you open 2 doors, pitch a door, pop 1 card on the field. I mean, that sounds great, right? But you think about it, I discard 2, I pop 1 card, Yeah. So, like, they haven't aged well, but what has aged well is their ability to banish themselves and recur themselves, and then when getting banished, they recur that hand stuff. I just foresee Droll and just the whole activate the Spectre, the little guy, they pitch it and it just eats an Ash Blossom, and then now you have 3 cards in your hand to beat an Imperm, because they're probably going to have something else,
Oh, yeah, like, you're definitely going to see hand traps, and that's one thing you always got to think about. But yeah, I mean, it might be kind of like off script here, but like with the new Red Eye stuff, with the Metal Morph or whatever. Yeah. Is that like a possibility that you can play? Because I know Red Eyes actually has got like a decent support card. It's that Metal Claws one that like it special summons itself, I do believe, and then you can activate a set trap, so you can immediately get that Red Eyes Metal Dragon on the field for an Omni Negate.
Yeah.
So like,
maybe.
Maybe I'm just
playing
randomly crafting.
Playing Tempest. Tempest pretty much allows you to play any dragon engine you want because as long as you get to the level 7, Chasmatis, I think, you can search any dragon.
Okay.
So the only reason that we wanted to play the Tempai was because Blaster and those weird hands. Because Blaster, when it gets banished, it can add any fire dragon. So if you open a handful of rulers, and if Blaster gets banished in your hand, it bridges you right to Dora as a normal summon. And then one Dora is Chasmatis, which can equal just a pop, or it equals the Goliath block. So like you make Chasmatis, then you just during your turn you dump Goliath, and during their turn you dump the Redox to reborn back out Goliath. But you can send any card actually. You don't have to play Goliath. People have been sending Christia because Goliath says extra deck. You cannot special summon from the extra deck except dragon monsters. So people have been playing Christia. So you just Christia during your turn, then during their turn you bring Christia back. Cool. And I mean the deck we were talking today in Dragon Maids, when that Dragon Maid stuff comes out, it has a lot of cool stuff. I think Parlor is like a $20 super right now, and then the Kitchen's like a $40 secret because I don't think they've been reprinted. But that becomes like Parlor becomes a 1-card Seals and Shell, which is an Omni Negate. That's another thing that Dragon Rulers have going against them, actually, is they cannot put up any sort of negate for Nib. So it's just like when our buddy Gus was playing that Insect deck. Does all this cool stuff, goes full combo. B-Trooper, it goes full combo. And then they just go, you just try to end your turn, they go, before you end your turn, they show you Nib, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's rough.
You could arguably, if you play the Black Rose stuff, you can make that Ally of Justice, but it just doesn't have as much synergy with the deck. Again, that Black Rose Dragon is searchable with, the Tempest, but then you have to have a win to discard, so then you have to play more wins, but you could play like that Ghost Mourner as a way. But again, like you still just got to make the Chasmatez, I can't pronounce his name, the Chasmatez, you make that level 7, then you get your whole engine going. And the Tempais just facilitate 2 level 7 dragons with just 1 card, so that's why people are playing it. But I don't know. I might retract that. I don't think Dragon Ruler can do it. I think that Nibs are going to be floating around. I think that that's going to be the thing, is that Dragon Ruler will put up this crazy board on stream, and then it's just going to get smoked with a Nib.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always that one. Like, I remember 3 regionals in a row, man, and we always joke about it. Like, sit down, round 1. Thank God it's banned, right? But like, you get some mouth breather shifter, and it's just like, I could flip the table. I could flip it, and I'm sure, and if anybody's going to be playing Dragon Rulers this weekend,
that's going to be them. They're going to
just expect it. It's going to be a heavy mouth breather, and he's just before end,
Yeah, and Nib.
Yeah, and here's, just don't flip the table, man. Just don't do it. Just
take
a deep breath.
Do it. Send it.
Yeah.
Send it, just start the regional YCS off with a bang. Yeah. Instead of pulling the fire alarms, flip the table.
Yeah, don't pull the fire alarms. Jeez Louise.
Flip the table.
Gotta be nice for YouTube, but don't pull the fire alarms.
We want to watch the stream too, man. We want to watch it. Before we close out the podcast here, there one final deck that I actually completely can't believe it went over my head. Regenesis. I think Regenesis could pop up in the top 32 because of the deck's wild, but also because playing Unicorn, not Unicorn, not the Necros Unicorn. And again, now people know how to interact with that deck. That deck has some pretty cool interactions. It can play under Droll pretty easy. So cool thing that deck can do, if you open the quick play spell, you draw phase, quick play, summon out your search your Omni Negate, and then you proceed to main phase, especially your Omni Negate, because you control a 2500 attack monster, and then you do all your searching, which whether what engine you're playing, it can conflict with like the cash stuff in a way, because you have to control no monsters. But if you're playing any other engine, like the Wanted package, you play, I don't know, the Dogmatica stuff like Nadir and stuff, that resolves. That gets you all just off of just the Regenesis.
Plus with it being brand new, like not many people are going to be knowing what's going on. But
and Recursion's wild. If any of the names minus the Lord get sent to the graveyard this turn, or gets sent to the graveyard during the opponent's turn, you can add those cards back to the hand. So like that just gives like crazy recurability, and the spells are insane. Like all the Searcher and the Quick Play all banish themselves. The Searcher summons from grave, and the Quick Play summons from banished. So then you like always have this rotation of getting a body out, and all of them are inherent too. Like they just plop down, and I think that's super strong, because then all of a sudden on the crackback, as long as you have a 2500 attack or defense, you have these 2500 attack or monsters just flapping down.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what people play it with. I mean,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't have to be played pure. It can play.
Yeah, it could definitely. I don't know, probably Blue Eyes.
I mean blue eye. Yeah, there's
Blue
a
Eyes
dragon.
would be-
There's a level 8 dragon that summons itself for free, and it's a spell and trap pop. I think.
So I mean, it might be played blue. I don't know. Primite Blue Eyes is probably better, but
Yeah, Primite. I've heard some. That's right. We currently talked about Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes, but I mean, some people have said that Blue Eyes have gotten like insanely power crept just within like Alliance Insight dropping out that what it does, like its strongest point is, of course, Drill Beam,
yeah.
but also it is the hand traps it can play. It can play like Purge, even though Purge is subjectively not the best of the Impulse or Dominus cards.
Yeah.
But I mean, normal summon, eat 4 hand traps, normal summon Sage is still combo.
Yeah. I think Blue Eyes is definitely good, but I mean, yeah, Regenesis is gonna be really good. That's what I was saying. I was like, maybe it got mixed with Blue Eyes, but probably not.
You can mix it with Invoked. Mechabus 2500 attack. You can normal summon Alistair, and they're all different attributes. So you
That's
normal
pretty wild.
normal summon Alistair. They're gonna hit your Alistair, but you're a good Invoked player. You already have.
Somebody normal summon Alistair 2025. Let's go.
Yeah. So normal summon Alistair. Search Invocation or get Impermanent Ash, but you already opened Invocation, and then you just smack it down.
Dude, if you're opening Alistair, you're opening Invocation.
And then summon Mechaba, and then all those names just come out for free.
Dude,
It's
that's
just-
wild.
Yeah, it's another engine you can play. I was looking at the Wanted because Wanted is.
Yeah, that's wild. I think I just got a Yugi boner.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, YouTube.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's all right. 2 men doing a podcast and one has a Yugi boner. It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something you can do. I don't know. We'll see what people cook up and figure out. I've been enjoying the Dogmatica stuff with it just because I have QCR Nadirs and I've wanted and max rarity that little package. So I want
Yeah,
to.
you always like the Dogmatica stuff though. Dogmatica's pretty.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, man. That deck's like based off of the Torah, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, and then like the Dogmatica is based off the Catholic Church. So it all kind of and then there's the Cashier fucks just out there doing their thing.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a little bit of synergy, theme synergy.
Synergy. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Well, anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap up the podcast here for the day. If you guys enjoy this, remember to comment down below what you guys want to hear us discuss, some interesting points you guys have, and yeah, but most importantly, thank you, Jason, for being on the podcast with
Yeah,
me.
man. Thanks for having me.
Yep,
Appreciate it.
awesome. And then we'll follow this up with another podcast and see how our predictions played out with YCS
Oh,
Providence
yeah,
and talk
that'd
about
be
Providence.
crazy,
Yeah. And we can easily just go back and look at our podcast and see how horrible our predictions were.
Horrible.
But anyway, you guys out there, stay safe, stay healthy. This is Team COG and Jason signing off.
Later.